You can have all my planet if you tame that predator, laughed the Emperor. Then the human boy said, the Emperor of Kalvoth Prime sat on his throne of molten steel, his voice echoing through the endless hall. His people, the reptilian Kalvothi, hissed and clicked in laughter at the sight before them. A fragile human boy, barely 17 by Terran years, standing alone in the center of the court. He was thin, his clothes dusty from the long journey, his hands still blistered from work on the ship that brought him. He should not have been there at all. The arena was for warriors, not children. Yet he stood unflinching, eyes steady, staring up at the towering Emperor as if he wasn't staring at the most feared ruler in 3 sectors. You claim your people are dangerous? The Emperor thundered. That your kind, soft and weak, deserve a place among predators? Very well. You can have all my planet. Yes, every stone, every sky, if you can tame that. The floor shook as the gates of the pit opened. Out came the beast. It was a Thrinak, a creature bred in the war labs of Kalvoth, taller than 3 men stacked head to toe, its body sheathed in obsidian plates, its head crowned with tusks curved like scythes. Its roar made the chandeliers tremble, and the courtiers recoiled in fear. This monster was a living engine of destruction, a predator even the Kalvothi themselves kept locked and chained, never fully trusting at hunger. The boy did not move. He did not flinch. He only looked at the beast, as if seeing something others missed. The Emperor sneered. If you survive, perhaps I will admit humanity has value. If you die, well, then your bones will join the rest of the prey in the pit. The Thrinak lunged, claws like blades tearing at the ground. Courtiers screamed, some hiding behind columns. But the boy didn't run. He simply stepped forward, slowly, deliberately. His boots crunched against the stone. His eyes didn't leave the beast's. Don't, he said softly. The word was not shouted, not commanded in the booming tones of the Emperor, but spoken with quiet certainty. The Thrinak froze mid-step, its massive chest heaving, nostrils flaring as it caught the boy's scent. The Kalvothi hissed in disbelief. That beast had torn armored soldiers in half for daring to come near, but now it hesitated. The boy slowly raised a hand, palm open, fingers spread. He did not reach for a weapon. He did not cower. Instead, he lowered his voice, speaking almost as if to a friend. You're not a monster, he whispered. You're tired. You've been chained, forced, beaten into rage. I can see it in your eyes. You just want peace, don't you? The Thrinak snarled, but its snarl faltered, turning into a deep rumble. The Emperor leaned forward, claws gripping his throne. This wasn't possible. The Thrinak didn't listen. It couldn't listen. It only killed. Yet the boy stepped closer. 1 step. 2. Every Kalvothi in the chamber waited for the spray of blood, the cracking of bones. Instead, the boy pressed his hand against the beast's jaw. The tusks that had torn through warlords hung inches from his fragile arm, and the Thrinak lowered its head. A stunned silence filled the hall. The boy's hand rested on its armored snout, and the beast purred, a sound so low it shook the floor, not in threat, but in submission. The Emperor rose, his tail lashing the air. What trick is this? He roared. The boy looked up at him, calm and steady. No trick, he said. We humans learned long ago that strength isn't about breaking what you fear. It's about understanding it. This creature doesn't need chains. It needs trust. That's something you Kalvothi never gave it. Gasps rippled through the chamber. The Emperor's warriors shifted uneasily. The Thrinak leaned closer to the boy, almost protectively, as though it had chosen him. The Emperor's pride boiled. He had mocked this child, wagered his throne's honor on an impossible challenge. And now, before all his people, the boy had done what no Kalvothi ever could. The Emperor snarled. You think taming one beast proves your kind is worthy of survival? The boy met his gaze with unflinching resolve. No, he said. It proves that when the galaxy laughs at us, calls us weak, mocks us for our fragile bones and thin skin, they forget something. We don't have claws. We don't have tusks. But we make friends where others see only enemies. We build bonds of the wild, the dangerous, the impossible. That's why we've survived everything our own world threw at us. That's why we'll survive you. For the first time in a century, The Emperor did not laugh. His court stared, silent and shaken, their world turned upside down by a human boy who had no weapon but his voice. The Thrynak, once their terror, now sat docile aside. The Emperor's voice was low, dangerous. "If I honor my word, my planet is yours." The boy shook his head. "I don't want your planet. Keep it. Rule it as you will. All I ask is this. Remember what you saw today. Remember that humans don't need to conquer to prove their worth. We just need one chance to show what we are." The Emperor stared at him for a long time, then sat back heavily in his throne. He gestured sharply. The guards withdrew their weapons. The Thrynak rumbled and curled at the boy's feet, like a tamed hound. History would remember this day, not as a day humanity conquered Kalvoth Prime, but as a day a boy with no weapon, no army, no power except his will, made an emperor bow to the truth. And when he left the chamber, the beast followed him, not as a prisoner, not as a weapon, but as a companion. The galaxy learned a lesson that day, one it would not forget. When a human says, "Don't," even